What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. We are back with a Wednesday edition that we will see some early games and we will see some normal start time games. So the slate will be split up a little bit. So be wary of that when you're building your lineups. You've got an all-day slate at starting at 12:35 Eastern. Then you have your main slate at 7:05. We will cover all of them, but just be aware of that. With the main slate, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on the main slate. So then we have 5 early. So we're going to go over that. If you don't know what we do here, we're going to break it down. We break down all of the pitching on the slate. We break down the bats that we like as well. If our previous videos get at least 50 likes, we will throw your name into random.org list, and you will randomized 3 times. The winner will receive a free MLB DFS week. You can win every single day. You can win multiple weeks. We've had that before. If any video gets 100 likes, we'll do the same thing, but you'll win a free month of MLB DFS content. And you know what? I'm going to drop it. If we get to 150 likes on any video, you'll win a free MLB season pass. So I know we can do it. We've got the views. We just got to get the likes. And I'm doing this video early Wednesday morning. Usually I try to get the videos out at night, but I thought I'd try this, see if you guys like it. This will have the MLB odds as well. And I'm very excited because we updated the website yesterday. If you've been to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com before, you've seen it, but it is a brand new site. It's not a brand new site, it's a brand new theme. Let me know if you guys like it. There's a ticker here. We can update it. We can change it. We've got today's article here under MLB. We have a bunch of stuff. You just click into it, and we'll get to that. So very excited what the website has. We've built it out, and I'm very excited here. So that being said, do you have questions, comments, concerns? We will try to get to them while we can. But we are going to do first things first. All the names on the list that were there yesterday, if you left a comment yesterday, your name is on this list. We will randomize it 3 times. We had just over 50 likes, so we will get it there. So good luck to everyone. On the third one, this will be the winner. 1, 2, and the winner of the free MLB DFS week is Kemen Alexander. Congratulations, Kemen. If you see this, hit the like. Let us know down below, and then hit us up on Twitter at advisors_team. So we do that every single day, guys. So if you are interested in winning a free MLB DFS season or ML week, we will go over that. So good luck to everyone for today. If you do like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Another way to win is like the video, subscribe, and tell me who's going to hit a home run and what inning they're going to hit it in. I need both of these. And on top of that, put the distance traveled as a tiebreaker just in case. So I need at least the person and the inning they're going to hit a home run in. So looking at the first game on the slate, we got the Athletics at the Pirates. So I obviously loved Mitch Keller yesterday. He was the picture of the video in the article, and he got the loss against somehow got the loss against the Athletics. Kind of crazy, but that's baseball, Susan, as they say. It's another day. It's a new day. Just kind of looking at what Mitch Keller gave up yesterday. 5.1 innings, 5 hits, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Not enough because he was the highest priced pitcher on the slate. So it's a new day. That is what I love about DFS. You guys watch the video, you do some things, you get to come back to a new slate. It's not like season long. So that being said, we are going to jump into it here. I'm not going to take either of these pitchers in cash. Maybe tournament, both of them for tournament. I don't mind. But none of the bats really jump out. This is just one of those games where I'm probably going to avoid the majority of it. None of the Oakland bats jump out to me. If I am looking at bats, possibly Pittsburgh bats, be looking at Sawinski, Marcano, Kutch, Brian Reynolds against Hogan Harris, if I'm taking any, but I'm probably just avoiding this game. Next game, Mariners at the Padres. You got George Kirby versus Michael Wacha. Kirby, 10 plate appearances, 300 batting average, so that's not much. So not much there. And then we want to look at Kirby. He had a pretty good game against, well, as I'm making this video, FanDuel just put in another slate. That's okay. He had a pretty good game against the Yankees, I believe. He's the 4th highest priced pitcher if you're playing the all-day slate. 8 innings against the Yankees, 7 strikeouts, 49 fantasy points. Didn't get the W, but had a pretty good game there. And he's only faced the Padres 10 plate appearances, so not much. And he struck out 3 of them. I don't mind him. I think he'll be under-owned for the early slate. It's kind of funny, though, because you got 12.35, and then you got 4.10. Like, it just, why is this game so early? I don't know. Michael Wacha, on the other hand, 109 plate appearances against the Mariners, a 4.23 batting average, and only striking out 12.8% of those batters. That is a huge batting average for that many plate appearances. I mean, Eugenio Suarez, 13 for 32, 2 doubles, a home run. A.J. Pollock, 5 for 13, 2 doubles, a home run. J.P. Crawford, 5 for 11 with a double and a home run. Ty France, 8 for 12 with 4 doubles. Teoscar Hernandez, 6 for 10 with a double and 2 home runs. Julio's got 2 for 5 with one of those hits being a home run. They've just hit Michael Wacha pretty hard. I kind of like Seattle here. Probably looking at a Seattle stack there. Pretty much, just depending on what lineup comes out of there. Suarez, Crawford, France, Teoscar, Julio, Rodriguez, maybe even Mike Ford if he gets in there, a cheap option. I'm just kind of curious. Mike Ford, big Princeton guy. See how much he costs. $2,000. $2,000 for Mike Ford if he even gets in. I like him for tournaments. He played yesterday, only had 2 at-bats. He's getting in the games, but yeah, I will take a flyer on him in tournaments, but if I'm playing cash with this stack here, I'm going to leave Ford out and probably go with maybe Kelenic, J-Rod, Suarez, Ty France, Teoscar Hernandez, some combination of those guys. Avoiding Michael Wacha, looking at George Kirby here, and looking at Mariners as a stack. Tigers at the Phillies, Reese Olson versus Zach Wheeler. You guys know I like taking pitchers against a team they've never faced before. I will look a little bit at Reese Olson for tournament only. Should be his second start. Yeah. First start back on 5 days ago. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 27 fantasy points against the White Sox. If he could get similar numbers against the Phillies, he could be a very cheaper option, maybe to break the slate. Now, the Phillies are a really good team. I would not be surprised if people want to take the Phillies as a stack, because we've been taking the Phillies as a stack. We've been taking Schwarber almost every day. Trey Turner when he had 2 home runs. We've been there. We've had success. I will have Reese Olson in a couple of lineups for tournaments, but other than that, I love the Phillies, and I love Zach Wheeler more against the Tigers. 30 plate appearances, 143, 33.3%, repeating as a K percentage. Love Wheeler. That's why he's the picture of this video. That's why he's the picture of the article. Speaking of the article, if you guys like these videos, go check out the articles that we put. They're in the description of this video. Go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Check that out. That does help me out a lot. Again, I've been telling you, I've had a lot of people donate to our PayPal. I've had a lot of people send donations and tips to our Cash App, which is down below, and it's been awesome. I also have Venmo that people have sent. But if you guys are interested in doing that, that helps me out. I'm trying to build the website a little bit better. I wanted to build out an lineup optimizer for you guys, but I'm finding that lineup optimizers that are functional in a web browser and not like Excel spreadsheet are like $2,500 to $5,000 depending on the bells and whistles, which I don't have that with a 3-year-old child. So I'm trying to build that out. I'm trying to get a computer built out too where it can withstand a lot of things. Like this computer that I'm working on, it's very slow. Can't even get my webcam to connect most of the time for you guys. So any and all donations help. Signing up on the website helps. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. watching the ads in these videos and looking at the ads and stuff on the website, all of that helps me. So, that being said, we're going to jump to the next game. Royals at the Marlins. You got Jordan Lyles versus Edward Cabrera. Lyles, 62 plate appearances, 190 batting average. Those are pretty good numbers. I'm wondering if it's just a couple of batters or what it is. So we'll look at that real quick. Maybe. Possibly. Yuli Gurriel, 18. Yeah, I mean, basically it's 3 batters. Gurriel's 1 for 17. Segura's 6 for 18. Soler's 0 for 10. Garrett Hampson 2 for 5. Luis Arraez batting 400. 400 this year so far, which is nuts. If you're taking prop bets, someone to get a hit, I think you got to go Arraez every single game. He's going to get on. I mean, he's batting 400. There's no way unless he gets injured, soon, there's no way he doesn't win the batting title. This will be, I think, the first time in baseball history that someone will win the American League batting title in 1 year and the National League the next year. He is batting over 400. It's crazy. I don't know if I trust Jordan Lyles. I would pick and choose some of these batters, maybe, but I'm going to get at least Arraez in there in my lineup. Cabrera, I'll take a flyer on him for tournaments just because I like to take pitchers against Kansas City. Tournament only because, again, Kansas City's been putting up a couple of runs against pitchers lately. We took Luzardo yesterday, the Jesus Lizard, and he came through for us. Thought it was going to get a little dicey because they scored 1 run, and I believe when I looked they had the bases loaded, but he got out of it, and then he only gave up 1 run. So I'll take a little bit of exposure to Cabrera here in tournaments. Maybe both of these pitchers in tournaments, but I do love Arraez for the Marlins. Twins at the Tampa Bay Rays is next. You got Pablo Lopez versus Sean Armstrong. Lopez, 34 plate appearances, a .212 batting average, only striking out 17.6% of those batters. But I think if you take him for tournaments, it'll be a little bit sneaky because it's Tampa Bay at home. So I will have a little bit of exposure to Pablo. Not a ton, but I will have a little bit of exposure. And then Sean Armstrong, on the other hand, 31 plate appearances, .345 batting average. I believe he's probably just an opener. Let's see. I mean, he's had 1 quote-unquote start, or he's pitched once this year. 2 innings against Boston, 3 strikeouts. So he had 15 fantasy points. I'm not trusting him because I don't think he'll go very long into the game at all. So that's where I'm looking at. I would take Lopez in tournaments. None of the bats really jump out at me at the moment. If you want to see the bats that have had success against Armstrong, 31 plate appearances, probably a couple of batters, probably not very many. Oh, Christian Vasquez, 5 for 11. Michael A. Taylor, 1 for 4, 1 for 4 for Kepler. Jorge Polanco, 1 for 2. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton there that I would be looking at. There's just other bats today that you could be looking at. The pitching, though, I don't mind Pablo Lopez a little bit. Diamondbacks at the Nationals. Yesterday, Diamondbacks, I think they won 10-5, so Nats put up 5. Zach Davies against the Nats, 36 plate appearances, only striking out 13.9% of those batters, a .206 batting average. Flip side of that, Patrick Corbin, 39 plate appearances, a .313 batting average. This is where I'm confused. Patrick Corbin has been god-awful, and then he's had some good games. Coming off a okay performance, 5 innings against the Dodgers, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 12 fantasy points. Against Kansas City, 6.1 innings, 6 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Against Detroit, 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. So he's not getting a ton of strikeouts. So honestly, I'm looking at a Diamondback stack here. I'm looking at if Gurriel is in. He hasn't played since Saturday, I believe. He's got a tight groin or hamstring. So that's a bat that I would look at. If he's in, I'll take him. But I'm looking at Corbin Carroll. I'm looking at Ketel Marte. Christian Walker against a lefty I like. I wish this game were in Arizona, but we'll take what we can get. We can't change that now, obviously. And then that's kind of my thought. So if you guys are looking at this, I'm looking at Arizona as a stack here. And then I'm looking at maybe Zach Davies for tournaments, but I just don't trust him. I'd rather take bats in this game over that. Chicago White Sox at the Yankees. You got Lance Lynn versus to be announced. Lucas Giolito was no-hitting the Yankees until Benintendi and Luis Robert decided to just watch the ball drop to end the no-hitter, which has got to be terrible for him. Then they didn't hit. I mean, Donaldson put up a home run. They did manufacture runs. They lost 3-2. Pretty big. The umpire, and this is what on the website, we have the umpire factors on the website. You can see the batters there. The home plate umpire for yesterday in the game, trying to see, absolutely screwed the Yankees over. Trying to see who it was. So the umpire factors is on the website. Let's see, who was the Ryan Addington. He's fairly new, 129 games. But he's got a K boost of 1.04. So Jake Bauers was up. It was clearly ball 4 by like half a foot outside. He called it strike 2. It changed the whole game. Would have loaded the bases with, I believe, 1 out. And the umpires do make a factor into this game. So this is kind of the boost that we have. So you can check this out. You can see what pitchers, if there's a pitcher or a umpire against a certain team. These are the home plate umpires. They do have factors into the game. So like Jeff Nelson behind the plate, 1.01 times the regular rate of 1 for strikeout boost. So you can see this could affect your pitchers that you take. So this is something we try to update throughout the day. Obviously, it will take time before the umpire names come out, so we can't really have it there. But in this game, Lance Lynn versus, as of to be announced, this should have been Nestor's start in the rotation. So I'm assuming it's either a bullpen game or I'm assuming they're calling someone up that they haven't yet. Lance Lynn, 140 plate appearances, 269 against the Yankees. Lance Lynn gave up 8 earned runs in his last start. He talked shit about Judge when he was looking at the first base coach, saying someone should drill Judge in the ribs, being a former teammate of Lance Lynn. Also, Lance Lynn is 600 pounds, kind of like Alek Manoah. Let's talk about Alek Manoah getting sent down to rookie ball. Not even single A, below single A. Anyway, I'm just talking about fat people that talk a lot of stuff. I would look at the Yankees here. I think it'll be under-owned just because of how they looked. Judge is out of the lineup. You still got Stanton, Rizzo. Jake Bauers, if he gets on, he's been hitting pretty well if he's a cheaper option. Not the best lineups from the Yankees coming out, obviously, but Lance Lynn has good numbers against them. I could also see people going with him because of how bad the Yankees were yesterday. I'll take a flyer on the Yankees because Lance Lynn has, let's see, pretty sure he's got his numbers are, he's 4-6 record, 6.55 ERA here. It looks like Randy Vasquez will be pitching for the Yankees today. That's what according to FanDuel. So Lance Lynn, 4 innings, 8 earned runs, only 4 strikeouts against the Angels, 0 fantasy points. Against Detroit and Kansas City and Cleveland, really good games, 40-plus fantasy points. But against Kansas City before that, 7 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. So he's been very inconsistent. I will take a flyer on the Yankees bats, just depending on who comes out there. Looking at Rizzo, Donaldson, Stanton, Glaber, Jake Bauers. Really depends on what lineup goes out there. Astros at the Blue Jays, Ronel Blanco versus Chris Bassett. I don't know who Blanco is. Let's see. I believe he had his first, so it'll be his second start. He's been a bullpen guy. It was his second start against the Angels last week, 5.1 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 31 fantasy points. Not too bad at 5,600. I could take a flyer on both of these guys. The Astros are a good hitting team, I know that, but Chris Bassett has held them. 132 plate appearances, 18.2 K percentage, 226 batting average. I kind of like both of these pitchers for tournaments. If I'm taking bats in these games, obviously on the Angel or the Astros side, we'd be looking at. Obviously, you're looking at Jordan. I mean, guy's a stud, hitting home runs. Seems like every game. Maybe Jeremy Pena, Bregman. Altuve if he's in there, but I think he's still, let's see. I don't think Altuve's played in a while. I think someone said he rolled over a frozen pea in bed and He hasn't played in 5 days. So if he's in there, I like him. If he's out, obviously we'll take advantage of other bats in that game. Flip side of this, the bats against Ronell probably would be Vlad. Bo Bichette seems like he's on base all the time. He's hitting home runs. He's batting, I want to say he's batting over 300 too, right? So let's see. Bo Bichette's batting 332 on the year, and he is priced on shortstop below Matt McClain, Bobby Witt, Tyro Estrada, Fernando Tatis, Mookie Betts, Wander, and Corey Seager, and Casey Schmidt, because Casey Schmidt is in Colorado. But still, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, I would look at Bo Bichette. I would look at not a ton, Vlad a little bit, Matt Chapman, but he didn't start yesterday. I think he had an ingrown toenail ripped out of him, and he didn't start, so I don't know if he'll be playing. So I do like both of these pitchers and a couple of the bats in this game. Red Sox at the Guardians, Cutter Crawford versus Tanner Bibby. Crawford, 37 plate appearances, 229 batting average. Bibby never faced the team before. I like Bibby here. I'll take a little bit of exposure to Bibby just because he's never faced them before. That's kind of my thought in there. Yesterday, guys, James Paxton, I took him. Dominated. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 52 fantasy points. That's wild. I told you I was taking him yesterday, and I said good luck because I figured he'd get hurt. Maybe he doesn't get hurt, but he will. But maybe not, but he will. So yeah, I won't look at Crawford here. I will look at Bibby here. None of the bats at the moment stick out until we look at the batter trends. Dodgers at the Reds, Noah Syndergaard versus Brandon Williamson. Love another Dodger stack. We had a Dodger stack yesterday. They came through. Freddie Freeman was the anchor to that stack. Grand slam. JD Martinez was in our stack. Home run. Max Muncy doubled to start off the game. Or first inning. So yeah, I'll take Noah Syndergaard for tournaments, but again, Cincinnati at home, and we'll look at the ballpark rankings at the end of this video. A lot of runs will be scored in this game. I'll take Syndergaard for tournaments. I won't take Williamson at all. I am stacking the Dodgers 100%. I'm looking at Mookie to start the game. I'm looking at Max Muncy. I'm looking at Freddie Freeman. I don't care if it's a lefty on lefty matchup. I'm looking at JD Martinez. I'm looking at a stack. Just depends on who's out there for the Dodgers. I'm looking at the Dodgers as a stack. Wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers are the highest implied run total. We'll look at that as well. Probably even more than the two teams in Colorado, but we'll look at that. That might be wrong. So we'll look at that. Mets at the Braves, you got Max Scherzer versus Charlie Morton. I'll take both of these pitchers for tournaments. It's crazy to think that Max Scherzer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th highest priced pitcher on the slate. He's usually the first. 5-2 record, 3.21 ERA. He is bringing him down. He's had 2 really good starts. One against Philly at home, 9 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 55 fantasy points. One at Colorado, which we did take, 52 fantasy points, 8 strikeouts. So he's getting his strikeouts up. The Mets can strike out, or the Mets and the Braves can strike out. I will have exposure to both of these just because of how bad the Mets have been. So against the Mets in his career, or the Braves in his career, 252 plate appearances, a 236 batting average, 32.5 K percentage. If you aren't taking Scherzer and you want some bats, we can look at the bats to see who's had success. Ozuna, 13 for 53, batting 245 with 7 doubles, 2 home runs. Darno has 2 home runs, batting 200. Acuna has 2 home runs, batting 281. Ozzie Albies and Austin Riley both have 1 home run, batting not very good. Kevin Pillar, 2 home runs. Culberson, Matt Olson all have home runs. I'm still taking Scherzer in tournaments, and I'm looking at Charlie Morton as well. So looking at the Mets bats that have had success against Charlie Morton in the 209 or 211 plate appearances. Lindor, 5 for 37, 2 doubles and a home run. That's only 135. Has struck out 10 times. Vogelbach, no. 5 for 15, a double and 2 home runs. Nimmo at 4 for 18. Eduardo Escobar, 5 for 19 with a home run. Mark Canha, 3 for 14 with a home run. Jeff McNeil, 5 for 18 with 2 home runs. Narvaez, 5 for 16 with a double and a home run as well. So some numbers. I don't trust either of these pitchers in cash. I will be looking at tournaments, though, for sure. Next game, Orioles at the Brewers. You got Dean Kramer versus Corbin Burns. Neither have really seen much. Kramer, 4 plate appearances, 333 batting average. Corbin Burns, 36 plate appearances, 200 batting average. Burns coming off a couple of good games against Cincinnati. 2 hits, 300 runs, 7 strikeouts. He did have 4 walks. So his walks seem to be up a little bit. He comes in at 10,000. He's 4-4 record, 3.75 ERA. If I'm taking one, I'm probably taking Corbin Burns, but there are just other options that I could take today. So not really looking at bats or pitching in this game until maybe later when lineups come out. Cardinals at the Rangers, Jack Flaherty versus John Gray. Flaherty, 19 plate appearance, 167. It's really hard to not take a Texas stack today. I love Texas. Love Jonah Heim. Love Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Josh Jung. I'm definitely looking at a Texas stack. And I'm looking at John Gray. 30 plate appearances, not much. 222 batting average, but the Cardinals are bad this year. They are bad. So I would look at Gray, and I would look at Texas bats pretty much in this game. Giants at the Rockies. I'm not taking either pitcher. Logan Webb, 98 plate appearances, 299 batting average. It's in Coors. I'd rather take the bats in this one. None jump out at me very much right now. We'll have to look. The BVP numbers are up there. Seabull's never faced the Giants before, but Giants at home. Look at Jock Peterson. Look at J.D. Davis. Looking at Lamont Wade Jr., Conforto. I don't mind there. And then we could look the bats for Colorado. 98 plate appearances, almost 300 batting average. Let's see. McMahon, 9 for 25 with 2 doubles and a home run. Charlie Blackmon, 10 for 24, 3 doubles and a home run. Profar, 4 for 13, 2 doubles. Yeah, I'm going to stack this game if you can. The bats are probably pretty expensive considering it's in Coors. So I'm still looking at this. Not going to take either pitcher. I will stack this game if you can afford it, depending on what site you're on. Sometimes Yahoo is a little bit easier to do. Fanduel, DraftKings, we'll see. Cubs at the Angels is the last game. Jameson Taillon versus Jaime Barria. Taillon has looked absolutely terrible. Good thing the Cubs only have him for 3.5 more years. 61 plate appearances, 207. Just kind of looking. 1-3 record, 7.05 ERA. Oh, he has 37 innings pitched and only 35 strikeouts. As he faced the Angels this year, he has not. I'm stacking the Angels of some sort. I'm looking at Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, maybe Gio. Just depends on the lineup that does come out. Let's see who's had success. I'm not going to take Barria either, but Hunter Renfroe, 4 for 12 with a double and a home run. Ohtani, 2 for 8. Both of those hits are home runs. Probably both of those came in Yankee Stadium. I don't know that for sure. Jared Walsh, 2 for 8 with a double and a home run. Anthony Rendon, no, he's out. Taylor Ward, 0 for 6. I'd still take Taylor Ward there. So if I'm looking at Ohtani, Trout, Ward, Renfroe, maybe Urshela, depending on who's out there when the lineups come out. So there you have it. There's the breakdown of all the pitching, some of the bats that we like. And like I said, we would look at other things. So FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website, and you can FTA Plus. You can sign up today. It's $10 for a month. $10 for a month right now. Or if you want sports betting on top of that, it's $40. And it will move throughout. After the All-Star break, this will go up to $25 because we will start adding football content there. The MLB odds, so this is on the website, implied runs. So Giants are the number 1. And like I said, Dodgers, I thought they'd be number 2 or number 1, but they're just behind. So these are what Vegas thinks. So these are good ways to look at these games. And then these are good ways to kind of sort out teams. Maybe you don't want the Mariners against Michael Wacha. Maybe you don't want the Red Sox against Tanner Bibby, Orioles, and you want to cut out a fourth of the games. You could take out this right here, and then you could look at the higher scoring games, and then you could build throughout. So you could look at the ballparks as well, which are the ballpark rankings. You can see Coors has given up the most amount of runs all year, 353, which is normal. That's the Coors effect, like I say. A 482 slugging, 2, slugging rank number 1. So they give up number 1 slugging, number 1 rank. That's why the bats are expensive. But look to get at least a little bit of an exposure to this game. And then you can just like go through and kind of go through and look at all of this, build out your lineups using that. We also have a ton of other things on the website. So that is the breakdown. Hopefully you guys find it helpful. Let us know what you guys are looking for in these videos and if you're excited. And if you're still watching, I am possibly trying to bring back the Fantasy Team Advisors season-long football league. We had it going a couple of years ago, but I didn't have enough interest last year. It's usually a $100 buy-in, looking at least 10 teams, 10 to 14 teams, probably would be the sweet spot. It'd be on Yahoo. And if you guys are interested in something like that, let me know, and we can just kind of get interest going, and then I can get everyone to pay, and then we can get just the league up and running again. Kind of my thought there. And if you guys are interested in a season-long fantasy football league, that might be something on Yahoo. Or we could even make like a league on DraftKings where it is we do a buy-in, and then each week someone can win. And we can have a ton of people on DraftKings, which is nice because it's weekly. Or if on Fanduel, it's weekly, so you can get paid out weekly instead of a season-long thing. So that being said, that's all I've got in this video. Good luck to everyone on today's slate. Let's bring them some bacon today, guys. I know we can do it. Peace!